guys, me host Superstar, thank you very much for tuning in. Look what I got! It's Marvel's Apocalypse. This figure is so awesome. I'm really happy to have this in my collection. This is Apocalypse from the Age of Apocalypse line. You can tell from the nice logo at the top there, it says Age of Apocalypse. It's based on the original Age of Apocalypse and graphic novels and comic book line that was way back in the, 80s and 90s. And there's a nice product shot on the back of the box, which is really cool. He's got a humanized skull there, because obviously it's about the destruction of the humans and the rise of the mutants. And there's a nice little story in the back that reads, Apocalypse launches an offensive against humankind in pursuit of a world where mutants rule and only the strong survive. Now, you guys have seen me review a lot of the Age of Apocalypse figures and take photos and stuff of them for now. And this is one of the figures that I've been dying to get in my hands. This is the Apocalypse. This is Apocalypse, man. This is the one we wanted. The other Apocalypse was cool, but this one's better. Because it's oh, I can't explain it. This is like, if you read Age of Apocalypse as a youngster like I did, this was the Apocalypse that was like badass. This is Apocalypse in his prime. Apocalypse that's destroyed the world and got what he wanted. And there's a nice artist shot on the side there. Same on both sides. Not much else going on in the box, so let's break it open, guys. Did anybody read Age of Apocalypse like I did as a kid? I remember going to the comic book store. I didn't read all of them at the comic book store though. I remember I got some of them, and then the rest of them I picked up many years later on trade back. As I was growing up, my library was actually very good with comic books. So I used to go to the local library here, go to the library for comic books. But then as I was sort of like getting older, there was a place back in the day in the town of in the city of Wakefield. It was called the Old Vicarage, and it was this big building that had like a gothic shop on top that was called the Hellraiser. And then there was a comic book store on the bottom, and there was an oldish guy that ran it. And basically he had like binders and binders of comic books, and he only charged, like, for certain comics, he'd only charge like 50p a comic because they'd be from like the 1980s and stuff like that. And he had no use for them really. And he'd sell them on to us and like for quite cheap and stuff like that. And we kept going back week after week. That's how I read the original Night Stalker comics, because he only wanted like, I think they were like 50p each or something daft. So I read like most of that storyline. But the Age of Apocalypse was one of the stories that I did get in the original trade payback form from him, and they were all like, I think he charged like, back then we are talking late 90s, early 2000s, but it was like, I think he only charged me like 15 quid and a graphic novel. And now those things go for stupid money, and I don't have them anymore, and I wish I still had them. But you know, that's how things go. And I'm now trying to go back and re-find them all, and and people on eBay are wanting like 50 quid each for the comics now. It's ridiculous. But I think I've got the first two on my shelf behind me. Right, so here he is out of the packaging, and I'm loving that face first of all, that laughing face. Especially when you tilt his hand, tilt the head to one side so he's looking, and shove that skull in there. That's more sinister now, isn't it? The humans have been eradicated. All hail mutadom. Let me take the cape off just so I can show you his articulation. So it's the same as the Baffig, really. He's got these lovely big shoulder pads that do pop on and off at that top part here around his neck. They have also used a little bit of a thing to hold them in place. I'm not sure why, and I don't really want to take it off. Oh, it does come off though. This piece does come off. The heads obviously pop off as you've got an alternate head, which is just the regular not smiling face. Which for the review, I'm actually going to put that other head on. I like the laughing face. Don't get me wrong. The laughing face is cool. So I've just taken that little tie off now. But I think for the purposes of review, I'm going to want him to have the more serious face on. Yeah. So it looks a bit weird without the cape, but... So he's got the middle hinge there, which obviously rotates back and forward. He's also got the waist swivel. His arms do lift up all the way with some nice click action there, so that's nice and tight. You can rotate that around as well as at the bicep with a single hinged elbow, which is kind of hindered by these gauntlet pieces, and the hands are on ball joints. The legs do lift out all the way, as well as forwards, backwards. There's a top thigh cut there. He does have double hinge knees, which is nice, and he does have a boot cut, and the feet are on rocker and pivot. There's not much going on in the way of paint issues. There's a couple of scuffs on him already around the top of the boot. There's some paint defects around the top of the boot as well, where the silver's in the red and the red's in the silver and vice versa. He does have some holes in the bottom of his feet though, should you wish to peg him to a stand. To be fair, I think I would like a throne for this guy. I think he would look awesome sat on a throne. Or if we could actually... I'd love somebody who had a 3D printer that could basically take these little skulls and make more of them. Like hundreds more. And what we could do is you could glue them all down to a board and build them up into a pyramid and make a little stand at the back for Apocalypse to stand on, with one foot on top of the pile of skulls, have him looking and laughing at that other skull in his hand, like outstretched like that with his head to one side, and have him stood like that with the cape and stuff. So it'd be like that, laughing at the skull while stood on a pile of human skulls. That would make the best diorama for this guy ever. I've got a feeling that Hasbro were going to do something like that for Comic Con, because I remember when they announced this guy, they said that you should have seen what they had planned for Comic Con, and I imagine that they would do something like that because it would look pretty cool. Now this is where as well the little skull, by the way, has got some great paintwork doing to it. It actually looks and feels weirdly like a proper skull would. It's a shame that they didn't put a hole in it though for us to use on our Marvel Legends figures, because as sad as it is, imagine if you could attach that to like say a Cyclops figure, and then have that on top of the head of the figure and have him limp laying there, so it looks like he's been there for a while, sort of thing. You could make a really cool diorama out of stuff like that. Like he's lost against Apocalypse and his body's just laid there for years. We have crushed them all. They stood before us and we destroyed them. Humans are no more. I love Apocalypse. He's one of the best villains of all time. He's just such an absolute badass. Nobody comes close to him. I'm going to attach his little cape back on here. Whoops. Have to be careful with that little skull. I'm going to put it in a little bag and put it in my accessories box behind me. I need to sort through that accessories box one day, and I might do it on a live stream and film myself doing it, because there's that much stuff in there. It'd be awesome to go through. What I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to head on down to the desk cam to give you guys an up-close personal look at this Apocalypse. So let's go to the desk cam! Alright guys, here he is out of the box and set up here on a bit of a diorama going on, where he's already destroyed Forge. Now he's working his way through Jean Grey in the Age of Apocalypse. Such a great figure. He got very loose very fast though. I did find that I did have trouble once I started messing with him. This leg wants to constantly go left now. And yeah, it's a little bit loosey-goosey very quickly. But the figure itself is so cool. I like that laughing face now that he's like staring down Jean Grey, like he's got her. I love that. It's just so cool. I need her looking at him more though. There we go. Yeah, such a cool little setup. And yeah, the figure itself, super nice. They have done a great job at capturing this version of Apocalypse. The laughing face is a lot of fun, actually. I'm going to be able to get a lot of use out of that. And the cape as well is a little bit annoying. It pops off quite regular, but it's easy enough to get on and off, so I'm not that mad. Like I said, the sculpting work is very nice. I like all the marbling and the paint work there between the dark blue and the light blue. Really making those muscles and things pop, and the machinery look. Working way down as well. It's just an awesome figure, and they've done a great job, like I said, at bringing this bad boy to life. And of course, we've got poor Forge there laying under the foot. So yeah, this photo had to be done. I have a lot of fun. I like Apocalypse as the all badass bad guy. I watched the X-Men cartoon as a kid, and Apocalypse was that bad guy on there that, you know, destroyed everyone. Had no mercy. And obviously I remember the bit from the Age of Apocalypse where basically Magneto, does he rip him in half, I think? So yeah, there's some great fight scenes in Age of Apocalypse. It's definitely worth picking up. Now that I'm older, I've obviously gone back and reread them, and obviously the stories are a lot deeper than when I remember when I was a kid. But yeah, the actual figure and the reason for making it is brilliant. I'm glad they made it to go with our Age of Apocalypse figures. Age of Apocalypse, one of those storylines in X-Men comics that's never going to grow old. It's never going to go away. Fans are always going to love it. So I'm glad we've got the toy line now to go with it. But guys, what are your thoughts on this Age of Apocalypse figure? Is it one you're grabbing for your collection? Let me know in the comments below. So guys, what are your thoughts on this Age of Apocalypse figure? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the review today, then please make sure you smash that subscribe button. Subscribing really supports us, it really helps us out, and it helps us to keep making awesome videos like this. Also, if you're new around here, guys, we've got some great content coming up that you're not going to want to miss. I've got a whole video coming for you on Tuesday morning, which is going to be amazing. Followed by a bunch of new content. This Friday, there's going to be a massive Fortnite haul and unboxing sent to us by Fortnite, so stick around for that. And we've got some great new content just coming up. I'm so excited about it. I've been working on it. I'm excited to release it, so that's all coming this week. Stick around, subscribe, like and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you.